Mastr here. I just beat Stalker called Pripyat on Master difficulty, and I wanted to talk about it because I've been reviewing every Stalker game from the eyes of a Master Stalker. So, welcome to this video. That video? Yeah, you made it. Congratulations. So, um, first up, uh, the uh, the game second time around, like major differences. I knew where all the stashes were, or a good portion of especially the given stashes. But then there were a few stashes I um kind of knew about or found previously, like this. I got the starting shotgun stash in the ranger station, and I used that. I'd forgotten about the sniper rifle in the very beginning of the game, like right there-ish. Um, and I honestly probably could still not go back to Zaton and just, get me the rest of these weapons, but I'm not gonna achievement hunt. Um, but I grabbed a bunch of weapon stashes. Um, Being on master difficulty at least 3 times kind of taught me. I think the game is best played on like normal or easy your first time around. Um, Especially if you're new to the series, you start off normal or easy, so you're allowed to make your mistakes while you don't know the rules of the game, and then well from there you just oof, um from there you just kind of you can go to master or you can go to veteran. Common misconception in the community actually is that or maybe not in the deep community, but some people seem to think that if they put on master, the enemies go down quicker, and that is not the case at all. They'll die in one headshot if they'll die in one headshot. Um, the only thing the difficulty does is make it so you can make way less mistakes. Um, so keep that in mind when you're picking difficulty. If someone tells you any of that crud about it mattering, uh, to melt enemies faster, no. The this game especially, the mutants are so much more deadlier. In this game, I didn't have problems with dealing with the mutants at normal difficulty. But this game especially, just because I feel like they don't mindlessly like charge at you. Like I think the first two games, the dogs pretty much went straight at you, man. Like without a doubt, 10 days a week, you know, they just run at you completely. And you can just shoot them in the head, and it was kind of easy to deal with them. And also their zone of influence in the earlier games where they would stop pursuing you at was shorter, so it was easier to kind of like move in and out of their zone of attack. And with this game, they don't seem to have as strong as of a zone of attack. Say like a node of just a group of mutants just, in the distance tracking here, and you like ran up on them, and then you suddenly decide you didn't want to fight them. In the older games, you just run a bit, and they wouldn't really chase you. Um, like there could be some on the hill, and you would run down the hill like yay far, and they like wouldn't chase you past like a point like this or something. And this one they chase you pretty far. It's still you can still play around with it. You can still like bait them out of it, but they're less likely to just mindlessly follow you and then immediately stop following you. Huge improvement, honestly. And you can, when you're the fact that they do more damage, I feel like you bleed more, but I could be just tripping. It could be I'm just using different armor. Um, but I felt like when they hit me, because they hit me for more damage, um, you ended up bleeding heavier from from the mutant's attacks, which is good because when you bleed, you cannot sprint. So essentially, invest in high impact resistance. If You don't want me like a single snork to end your day, which by the way, it will still end your day. The snork's attack speed has to be adjusted, man. That shit was not okay. Snorks were probably my number one death, from mutants at least. Um, and I know some people might want to say like, especially people in the early game, just stay away from them. But like, and especially in Lab X8, is it X8 or 18? The one in Pripyat, that one, where like they jump out of the holes or they jump around the corners. No. Trying to rescue Zulu after he runs off, being all fucking angry at the fucking military. Also not good, terrible. There was like you had to kill like 20 snorks. I don't know if there was a spawn glitch with that mission. They just kept coming. And Zulu seems invincible during that fight, so it's not that bad. Um, but that was rough. Too many enemies. Um, oh, what are some big things? Oh yeah, the main reason I was so excited to go back to this game is right in my hands right now. Um, pre patch. These guys are still underwhelming. There's nothing you can really do to make them less underwhelming. I will say, however, these guys being like more underwhelming, they did add extra AI behavior to this guy too. But that's something I noticed immediately. So if you look at the Sarvog detector, um, pronounce this Sarvog, the prototype from the quest. The symbols used to be more inflated. At least I feel like they were more inflated. I could be completely fucking wrong, and they didn't change the size of the danger symbols. But you used to not be able to see the artifacts because they were tiny little pinprick red dots. And I mean they were always. It's just the artifact in this bath pool is always like right there. I've been in here 3 times. I thought my suit would protect me more. But yeah, they massively improved. That scanner is actually worth picking up now. And I actually kind of feel bad for default PC users, although users would have a bigger screen, maybe, or at least be closer to it. But the little teeny red dot got covered up by the symbols. They moved around too fast. It was fucking awful. This new scanner, they are cooking with this. That's one of my biggest issues with the game, like post patch, and that's another reason like going back and playing this game is so good. I had one major audio issue right at the end of the game, and I think it's because I like new saved until like I couldn't see the end of my new saves, which I'm not used to doing. But I'm sorry, after Clear Skies crashed on me, and I got closer to the end, I'm just like, I don't want this save file to bug out on me. So I just kind of have spam saved. There's some other differences in this game that I didn't notice the first time around or now privy to. Trying to think. I mean, I still stand by like finding the stashes in the open world. That's the best way. It's honestly between the 3 games that is the biggest difference, gameplay style wise. It's just like, people say they're broken in this game, and they might be on something, but it's also a single player game. If you don't want to be busted in the beginning, don't go for the sniper rifle. I liked knowing that there's a spa shotgun right away, because you just kind of go get the shotgun, and you put some early upgrades into it. I mean, I used it all the way until the very end. That spa is honestly not that bad, because the Predator shotgun you get much later on in the game is just a different variant. I use different guns. This USP here, that's not the USP. This USP with just automatic fire mode and just give it good handling, give it the best recoil possible. Take all the just get automatic fire. This thing is like a little mini like SMG. It's got a lot of kick, obviously. That's why you want to take all the recoil mods. But with just like a little bit of control, and if you're not usually going to be shooting this very far, recoil is a bitch. All right, but just this thing mows down people, and it's 45 caliber. I guess it decays really fast. I think I'm breaking this thing. How many clips you got in this? Um, okay, a full clip of auto fire on this. It's maybe not the best way to conserve itself, but it's also a pistol, so it's cheap to repair anyways. But this thing was so clutch. Um, I was using it with an LMG just because the handling stat, which I wasn't fully aware of all the stats when I first played through. Um, it affects your like how much you rotate. So without a gun, this is gonna be like your default rotational speed. With a gun, it's gonna depending on the handling stat, they the only thing they say in the description of this game is like, oh, it affects like recenter from firing or something. But it's like so much more than that. It's like it's it's just movement like left and right even while hip firing. Um, and so I basically just ran this pistol with an LMG to just literally blast away anyone that was around a corner that just happened to be right there. That I couldn't just pop my LMG. It's also silenced. And I have no clue. I still don't get the silence mechanics other than using a weapon with a silencer just has the unpredictable factor of just letting you kill maybe a few guys to like a handful of zombies before they all lock onto position. And even at times like running through a place and like running and gunning with the silencer, if you can like gun them down before they even fire a shot off, like kind of bussin'. Um, not gonna lie, I used the Fraser a bit, which I upgraded in the last one, but I never actually used. Which I think is funny. I upgraded a lot of weapons and just didn't use them. Um, but yeah, going back and using different weapons, using different strategies. I actually used the RPG, and I actually I took the RPG with me in the underground, and I actually managed to save everyone this time around on Master difficulty. It was fucking terrible because there's so many. Remember I said about the snorks and how fucking terrible they are in this difficulty. That tunnel is fucking full of them, man. Um, I think I ran through with the futuristic like built-in MO49 grenade launcher thing. I got it from good old what's his face? Nimble. Um, and I just rocked that shit for a good portion of the game, but I did switch it out because honestly, I took the variable scope, but I could not figure out how to use it. I'm sorry, I took it out and was like, time to use the variable scope because that's why I brought this thing, a sniper rifle and a medium range gun, and then I had I think a shotgun, and I was just like, time to do your job, and it was like too much zoom. Um, uh, and I hate that I can't undo the scope attachments on that gun. I'm so looking forward to the like fully modular attachments for like extended makes and shit. I'm just wondering like if it's all gonna be modular and we'll just be like basically weapon stripping our kit, like the stuff that improves reliability, the barrel stuff. Are we looking at? I don't know. I can't wait to mess with the gun system in the next game because modding guns out in this game, like earning cash to like mod guns out to have like like a small collection of like really good guns that have good accuracy. I don't know that shit. Something about that is so satisfying. And also finding the weapon parts. I'm sure they'll have us um tracking down tools or God, I hope it's not flash drives again. Those were so busted. But also flash drives would encourage us to explore the world. A mix of the two maybe. But I don't know what they would do with the modular system. Ugh, I need to stop talking about the future game. Um, if you can't tell, I'm excited. But yeah, I don't know what else really to say. I still don't use these meds. I used maybe the Vinca once, but and the side protection I used when fighting a duel. Mueller, Mahler, Brawler, Burler, the little midget dudes that fucking use psychic attacks. I can't remember. I think their name is Burrs. Um, but I used that. Those are like the only two times I used them. Um, I don't fully understand why, other than the fact that I only have 4 slots and I like to be able to eat food to help regen health faster. I don't usually have the energy drink, or I usually have the energy drink, but I usually have bandages. So it's like you got your bandages, your food item, your med kit, and then I like to have the fucking energy drinks on me because let's be honest, you're running around collecting a lot of. You get money in this game. You go around and you get the artifacts, and then you want to just run back and like deposit shit, or you pick up a few stashes of weapons, pop a Hercules and pop a soda. I don't know. So I guess I could dish the soda, but that's my preference, I guess. What else did I do? I gave Strelak all the messages. I did a ton of shit. There's the only thing I've let you have to do is where I'm gonna have to side with the bandits and side with not side with duty. I did that in like a different save file. But I think that's all I have left to do for quests other than side with no one, which I'm not sure how far in the game. I guess I'd make a save file split and then just side with the bandits, speed run the fucking quests, to do all the bandit missions, and then just restart and speed run everything else for the normal one. But I don't know. That's a little bit too much work with the game being so close. I'm far too tempted to like go out and like collect a bunch of shit and like pre-up. I love doing that in this game, so I'll do another serious playthrough, maybe an evil playthrough, if I ever come back to Pripyat. But yeah, with the different endings and things I fucked up in the beginning, it was a hell of a lot more fun. Even Shadow of Chernobyl was super fun playing through again, because I didn't even get the real ending. And it only makes me think that there's like, this game essentially just has like various different like mini story blips at the end. There's not really any different endings in this game, unlike Shadow of Chernobyl. But with Shadow of Chernobyl's endings basically being like, oops, I went to the Wish Granter because I was curious, or I just didn't do that one quest objective. Essentially if you're just flying through it like I was. And then the other ending being like a longer, harsher one. Also could be a shortcut, honestly. Maybe you just didn't want to fuck with the teleporters and the monolith shoulders and all the rooftop navigating. Honestly, that shit was fun. It was a nice ending to a game, but it was a little bit of a hassle. And I can't remember Clear Sky. What was Clear Sky? Clear Sky was just a sniping mission. There was nothing. I don't think there was an eternal event. No, yeah, there wasn't any sort of eternal ending in Clear Sky. But Clear Sky's a weird little dude. It doesn't really like to abide by the rules, including it being completely unplayable with a rare glitch. So we're not gonna count Clear Sky. But yeah, the 4 different endings in Stalker 2. Oof. Especially if there's like an evil ending. I don't know, or like if they add secret endings, DLC to come back to. Lots of stuff to look forward to. Anyways, I think that's all I have to take. If it wasn't obvious from my tone, this is the literal best game in the series, and it is the closest thing you'll have to Stalker 2, just because of the stash system itself. If you want to jump into this game blind, sorry, I spoiled 2 of the stash locations relatively for you. The best thing to do with this game, jump in blind and just stick your head in corners if you want to practice finding stashes. Because you can't just find stashes in any of the other games. So like an unguided way to look for stashes would be nice. Although I will say Shadow of Chernobyl's stashes, well, they're not exactly they're not exactly, you can't just walk up and find something just sitting somewhere that isn't already pre-placed in the world. Unfortunately, even the boxes don't have like a random chance to drop loot, except maybe I think 2 boxes in the entire game that I found that dropped just random loot. Because they were inconsistent when I reloaded. Anyways, the stash locations themselves aren't any different from where things would hide. So if you wanted an easy this is where they like to hide stashes, and then basically going through Call of Pripyat, it's like you're doing it blindfolded. You do get a few, like I said, with the quests, but I think that's like the best thing about these games, is these stashes. Um, I mean, at least as far as like from an open world, I guess, approach. I don't know. I like finding goodies and crevices. I'm a sucker for Korok puzzles that aren't obvious. The fucking car ones can get out of here. But I like finding rocks and being like, this rock goes somewhere without anyone telling me. Like, those little world puzzles are always nice. I feel like that's what Dash is, at least for me. I feel like they accomplished that, except it's like, hey, here's a powerful machine gun. Cool. Um, Anyways, I've gone, I've gone on for way too long. Um, I hope you guys have a great day. I will be posting this on day 31. Or actually, it's already day 31, isn't it? Nope, it's not that late. So I thank you for tuning in to the video, and I hope you all have a nice night in the zone. Hasta la vista.